Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel and I hope you all are doing good. Today we are going to talk about The God of Small Things by Arundhati Roy. This book was first published in the year 1996 and it won the Booker Prize in 1997. The story takes place in Kerala, that is in the south of India, and it's about twins named Rahel and Esther. They are fraternal twins and it's basically about their childhood and the way they went through things in their maternal home along with the maternal side of the family. This novel is written really well and it's narrated from the perspective of a child, but at the same time things are happening in the present as well. Like there are a sequence of flashbacks throughout the whole novel and at the same time things are happening in the present life. Arundhati Roy has done an incredible job at trying to bring about the evils of the society. When you are reading the novel, at times it feels really dark and gloomy because of all the evils that are happening in the society and the way Arundhati Roy has mentioned these things. But at the same time, as this novel is narrated from the perspective of a child, you just come to understand the innocence and the pure-heartedness of the kids, and you just sometimes laugh out loud at the really stupidest things that they say. So there is a really nice balance of gloominess and lightheartedness going on throughout the whole novel. I really love the way she has developed the whole story, and when there is a new scene or a new something happening, she has explained every single thing. She has articulated things in such a way that it feels as if you are watching things happening in front of your eyes. And I find this articulation, this development of the scenes and development of the story really endearing to read, and I find it so involving, especially in the beginning and also at certain other places later on in the novel when she has described things and described weather or the change in weather or maybe something that they are doing at a dining table or something like that. It feels really nostalgic. Even though there is a lot of cultural difference between north and south of India, even then the way she has described things, I could literally connect with that. I started thinking about my own childhood, about my own summers that I used to spend in the garden or playing with my friends, and it was something that I was able to relate to, and I felt really nostalgic at certain places. And because of the whole situation that was happening in the house and the really suffocating environment that was in the house, then I felt that Ammu was a great mother, and the way she instilled all these good manners and these good habits in her kids was really fun to read. The novel talks about a lot of discriminations and a lot of evils in the society, as I said earlier, and some of them are domestic abuse that is mentioned early on in the novel, and then the issue of girl education, and then the issue of divorcee. Like Ammu and her brother were living in the same house. They were both divorcees, but the brother wasn't taunted, wasn't teased about his divorce, but Ammu was. She was looked upon as a burden. And even if you look at today's society, things like these are happening in society. And the end that Ammu had, things like that happen all the time. And they are still happening in society. Joint family issues, caste discrimination, everything is happening in society. And while reading this novel, something is stuck in my mind, and that was, this novel was written in 1996, and even though so many years have passed, it feels as if we are still standing at the same place. Because the things that she has mentioned, the evils of the society that she has mentioned, the discrimination that is happening against minority communities, even in like the majorities, the people who are the minorities, they are treated the same way as Arundhati Roy has mentioned in her book. So I feel like we are still standing at the same place. We haven't evolved at all. We might say that we have evolved in terms of technology, in terms of the gadgets that we have in our hands and whatnot, but when it comes to our thinking, we are still standing at the same place, which is so terrifying to think about, because honestly, what have we done in all these years? And then there is this one thing that Arundhati Roy has mentioned, and I think that it's pretty underrated. I think that she has also, in a way, tried to convey that this thing also happens, and it's not related to humans. She has shown the death of an elephant, not exactly a death, but rather she has mentioned that the elephant died because of electrocution, because of electrical fences, and then everyone stopped, and I was like, oh my goodness, they are going to mourn the loss of an animal because that's cruelty. But then everyone stopped and they were like, okay, is this the same elephant that comes to visit us during this festival, and they were like, no, this is not that elephant, and everyone goes home, then okay, that is not our elephant. I think that it sort of depicts the way things happen later on in the novel. I'm not going to give away too much, but I have just thought about this, and this came to me right now, that maybe somehow it is related to the things that happened later on in the novel, you know, that people were like, okay, if this dead animal isn't ours, then we don't care about it. It's just like what happens in human societies as well, a lot of the times. What happens in countries which are facing such crises, humanitarian crises, where people are dying, and then people are like, okay, they're not our people, they're dying, what can we do about it? But when someone close to us dies, then we are like, this person has died and they belong to us, so we want justice. As I said earlier, this is a really well written novel, and things flow really nicely and the stories develop really nicely, but it has a lot of flashbacks, and at certain points those flashbacks felt really jumpy. It felt a little bit disconnected at points, and at points I had to stop and think about what was happening, because at certain places things got mingled up and you couldn't tell if this was a flashback and this is the present thing that's happening in the novel. So it is a little bit confusing. But then I read a review somewhere, and the person said that as this is written from a child's perspective, and children just have this habit of having really disconnected thoughts, and that's how it's written. So I don't know if it justifies that or not. Now, coming towards the end of the novel, the last chapter is too graphic for me, and I think that it was a bit of an overdue from the part of the writer, and it could have easily been avoided. And the second thing, I don't agree with the way Arundhati Roy has ended things with the tweens. Like, it's unjustifiable, but at the same time, I don't understand what happened. If you know what I'm talking about, just tell me in the comment and explain things to me, because I really don't understand. And now we have come to the rating part. I will give this book a 7.5 out of 10. I would recommend it if you are into this kind of genre, but if you're not, then don't read it. And with that note, we have come to the end of this video. I hope you liked it. If you liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will leave the link to my social medias in the description down below, and I will see you guys really soon, inshallah. Till then, take care. God bless you. Assalamu alaikum. Bye.